everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate Rebuild on FIFA 17. Now, by popular demand last time, we are going to be retrying to get Charlton back to the Premier League and see how we do with another 2 seasons in this episode. So the sequel is here. It was overwhelming, I think 84% of you who voted for me to do Charlton rather than another team for this episode. So we are going to have one more try, 2 more seasons in this episode to try and get Charlton back where they belong. So let's see if we can do that and strengthen our squad in the first transfer window. So we're picking up today pretty much where we left off last time. This is how the league table finished, and I just thought that you'd probably like to see that Millwall, who got promoted with us in the first season last time, have actually gone down to League One from the Championship again, along with Oxford and along with Blackburn Rovers. So interesting. If we can get anything similar to what we did last season in the Championship, then I'll be pretty happy. But I mean, with Danny Welbeck in the team and some of the other players that we've signed, you know, Aribo, Conser going up, Grant Ward, loads of good players, young players that we're working on, we could potentially get automatic promotion, and it actually wouldn't be out of the ordinary for a team of this stature to get out of the playoff places there and go into the automatic positions this season. So this is our squad we're working with, more or less our starting lineup here. Danny Welbeck on the left, Tony Watt, whose contract is running up, by the way, Patrick Roberts, Kamada Aribo Kashi, who's leaving the club, in the middle, De Silva, Conser, Bauer, Furlong, Strakosha, and then a load of these reserves: Phillips, Pierce, Solly, Powell, Forster-Kaski, Ward, Ajoa, Yijiati Azati, the Chinese keeper, Lewis Page, Naby Sarr, Harry Lennon, the youngster Gallagher, who we signed in our first season through the youth, Tariq Fosu, Charles Cook-Jackson, Marshall Reeves, Holmes McGuinness, and of course Ahern Grant. So that's our team that we're working with. A few of these players will be going, and we are going to have to get a little bit more strength in depth. I'm going to see last time losing to Bournemouth so heartbreakingly in the playoff final as a blessing in disguise. I think it might give us another season to prepare for our sort of Premier League antics and prepare ourselves for staying in the Premier League when we do get there. So that's what I'm going to take. That's the positives I'm going to take from last time. And let's continue and make some signings here. So the board are letting me know that Tony Watt, Mark Marshall, Josh McGuinness and Josh Umarah's contracts are all expiring. Now, as you can see, it will not let me, when I just change this to 0, it will not let me renew Tony Watt's contract. Oh, actually it will. That's news to me. All right, okay, maybe it will. Let's try again to get Tony Watt at the club. 9 grand, that's not too bad. He's 73 rated, still relatively young, and I think we could do with him at the club. So let's make him, okay, at the moment he's a crucial first team player, so we can't really drop him from that. So let's just do that. Kashi is the one I think I was probably referring to, who we cannot renegotiate with because he is absolutely leaving the club. I think he's already agreed with another team some terms, so we're definitely going to need to strengthen that midfield position. And also Josh Umarah, I think we're just going to let his contract run down. He's only 59 rated. I don't think it's really worth renewing his contract, although we might get some money for him, so let's just offer him the same money and see what he says. But we have managed to tie up contracts for Forster-Kaski, Aribo, and not yet Josh McGuinness. So let's see how we can develop on those fronts. So I've just got this message from the board that says, sorry to have bad news for you today, but the agent of Tony Watt has dropped the bombshell that no matter what contract we put on the table for his client, he won't be signing it, blah, blah, blah. Terrible news for the club. So Tony Watts, you know, he's proven that the original suspicions that we had about him being a bit of a, you know, bigger than the club kind of attitude player. He is going to be leaving. He won't sign a contract no matter what we offer him. So we are going to need to also find perhaps a new striker, or maybe we'll put Danny Welbeck in the middle and sign a new winger. Let's see how what kind of targets we can go for and who wants to come to the club. So as we have a look at our squad now, we have Ajoa up front automatically, which means that Tony Watt has gone. We couldn't agree a new contract with him, nor with Josh McGuinness, so they've both left, unfortunately. Also, Kashi has left, so Forster-Kaski comes in. He's moved to, I think, Preston. And we have also lost Mark Marshall and also Umarah, the youngster. So a fair few significant losses there that we're going to have to definitely, you know, build on and recuperate and make sure we get the right replacements in. We don't have a massive transfer budget like we did last season when we got rid of Roland and had a takeover. We've only got about 6-7 mil at the moment, but we could increase that if we do well in the pre-season tournament. So we're going to have to be very, very smart in our business in the transfer window this season. And interesting, I've just seen this on the news tab, going up the battle cry from Charlton Athletic fans. So they reckon that we're going to finish 4th. Obviously, our key player is Danny Welbeck, and Kamada they mention, as well as Chris Solly. and also Jada Silva, but they do predict that we're going to finish 4th, so if that's anything to go by, it's kind of promising signs, I suppose, that we're going to be in that top 6 position. And our first signing of this particular transfer window and this particular episode is going to be Fernando Forestieri, the 28-year-old, 75 rated centre forward from Sheffield Wednesday. It's always a good thing, I think, to weaken your sort of direct rivals while you're trying to strengthen yourself, and I think this for sort of 3.6 mil is a pretty decent deal. We might try and ship Ajoa to also sort of contribute towards the finances of that and make it sort of less, you know, less significant on our books, but let's accept this offer. We do also have 2 pending transfers, as you can see here. One for Junior Hoylett, who is pretty cheap at 1.8 million at 72 rated there, and also João Teixeira, who would be a little bit more expensive at 3 mil, which wouldn't leave us with a whole lot, well, a little bit more to play with. But I'm just going to store them both for now and see if I can strengthen maybe a tiny bit better than a 72 rating or a 72 rated player, but we'll store these for now and see what we can do. And our second signing is going to be Youssef Tutu from FC Copenhagen for 3.5 million. You know, he's quite cheap on the wages, 74 rated at the age of 25. He's a left midfielder, which means we can probably now shift Welbeck more towards the middle to compete with Forestieri as well. And also Forestieri is quite versatile, so we've got a lot of versatility up top there. And we're going to accept this, and that leaves us 2.7 mil roughly to find a replacement for Ahmed Karshi. So that's Tony Watt replaced, Mark Marshall replaced, and now it's just Karshi who needs replacing. So let's accept that. And we have sold Leonardo Ajoa. It didn't quite happen for him at Charlton, well, for us really, but he has gone to Nottingham Forest for 1.8 mil. I think that's a decent return considering he's a 72 rated 32-year-old player. And, you know, I don't think he even scored a goal for us, actually, and he wasn't that great in the playoff final that we actually played with him. I think Forestieri, I don't know how to say his name, but either way, I think he's a better player, so that is a decent little cash-in, I think. And another striker who has exited is Igor Vetekeli. He's gone to Leeds for 2.5 mil. I think we might now have to reinvest in yet another striker. We might get one in on loan, or we'll see what we can afford, but that's 2 strikers gone. We do have Ahern Grant, who is very, very rapidly growing in the shadows and in the pipeline. He will be used this season, and I think he will be a very good player by the end of this episode. And just to bolster our attacking options, because we're probably 1 player short in that regard, we are going to accept this offer for Thierry Ambrose, a player who we looked at in the last episode when he was a bit younger, on loan. He's going to cost us a little bit in the wages, but he's going to be essentially a free player, a loan player for the season, and he's definitely going to help us if we get any injuries, and that'll be a nice little addition to the squad. We've still got 5.8 mil to play with to bring some more players in. So as we tick down the last hour of the transfer deadline day in August, in the summer, it is apparent that we haven't managed to sign a midfielder to replace Karshi, although we do have Forster-Caskey, Nick Powell, and also the young Gallagher. But if we have a look at our squad here, this is pretty much our starting lineup. It is such a Premier League team. We've got Patrick Roberts on the right, Welbeck up front, Tutu, the new signing, on the left, who's already gone up 1 to a 75, Forster-Caskey, Kamada, and Aribo in the middle, Furlong, who's gone up as well on the right of defence, Patrick Bauer and Konsa in the middle with Jada Silva on the left, and Strakosha in goal. And these are our substitutes here. We are looking pretty strong on the bench as well. Ahern Grant's already got up to a 70. Forestieri, I just think I got that right. The new signing is a 75 rated. He's on the bench. Grant Ward, Nick Powell, Solly Pearce, and some reserves who all might get some game time as well. I think this guy, Gallagher, he's the one who we signed last season. Well, we got him from the youth academy, and he's only 18 years old, from the Republic of Ireland. He could be the sort of long-term Karshi replacement. If you think about it, he's 18, he's 66 rated, so I mean that's already pretty good. He's going to definitely be at least a 70 by the end of the season if he trains well. And our squad's looking good. Maybe I would have liked one more sort of senior player in there, maybe a set-piece specialist. We might be lacking that a little bit, you might say, but maybe I can train someone up as a free kick taker. But other than that, I'm very happy with the squad, and I'm thinking we can go for automatic promotion this season for sure. And so after 4 games, I don't normally show this, but I didn't show it at the beginning of the season to show who got relegated and who got promoted. So we do have Nottingham Forest leading the way at the moment. I believe the teams that came up from League One was Southend, maybe Bolton, and also Rotherham, I believe, who got relegated in the first season. And coming down from the Premier League, I'm not too sure. I think Aston Villa maybe. Maybe also Sheffield Wednesday. I can't quite remember who was in the league last season, but it's a very competitive league nonetheless. You've got Southend. I don't know how they managed to get promotion, but they did. Also Fulham down in the relegation zones. I didn't expect that actually, but yeah, a very competitive league, and we have to be right on our game if we want to be promoted this season. Now we are in January, and one signing that I have made in preparation for next season, so I'm only going to sign this player when his contract expires, is Lewis Baker from Chelsea. Look how much he wants in terms of wages there, but he is a 79 rated 23-year-old English centre midfielder. We are sort of lacking in central midfield because, you know, we lost Kashi and everything, so he is definitely going to be an excellent signing. Only 23 years old, and he is banking, I expect, on the fact that we are going to get promoted this season, and we are going to see the league in just a little while. And I don't want to do too many of these free signings, these contract expiry signings, because it can be a slightly overpowered mechanic in the game, but Andy Carroll does also want to join us provided that we get promotion. Well, he's banking on the fact that we're going to get promotion, just like Lewis Baker is as well. So we're going to accept this and get Andy Carroll in. We are going to adjust the transfer budget in order to do so, and they are two very good Premier League players that we have got coming to the club as long as we can get promotion. So let's have a look at the league. So we have just ticked down yet another transfer deadline day. We didn't do any business in January, but we are going to now have a look at the league, where we are in the league, as well as how our players are doing and how our squad is looking overall going into the second half of this campaign. Also, we do have Arsenal in the round 4 of the FA Cup. We always seem to get really difficult teams really early on in the cup, so that's why we don't do so well. Maybe we'll sim that and see how we're faring against the real big boys of English football and of the game, really, to see how far we've come since we were sort of a mid-range League One team right at the beginning of this entire Charlton ultimate rebuild, I suppose. So let's have a look at the league, and you can see that we are perhaps not as high up the table as we might have expected. Watford are leading the way with Aston Villa, and by the way, Watford are one of the teams that must have got relegated, and Aston Villa are in second place there. Brighton, Birmingham and Fulham also above us, and then Leeds, Norwich, QPR, Sheffield Wednesday, Brentford, Cardiff, Ipswich, even Derby really on our tails to get the last position in the playoffs. But Charlton are 6th. We are in the playoff positions at the moment, but we're cutting it kind of fine. We probably need to, you know, step up our form a little bit. We do have a game in hand, so we might go up to 4th if we win our next game. But I was expecting more of a challenge for sort of the automatic positions. Maybe our squad size has something to do with that, but we are certainly en route to get to the playoffs, which is not the end of the world. So on the top scorer leaderboard, our star players of the season really have been Danny Welbeck and also Tutu, the signing, the left midfielder that we made from Copenhagen, I believe. Welbeck's on 10 and Tutu is on 9, so 14 from Wyman there. He's kind of running away with it, and Carlos Hill, or Gil, however you say his name, Sonny Luco and Bjarnason above us. But we could, if Welbeck has a good second half of the season, he could be pushing there. If we move on to assists, we do have a lot around the top. So Kamada, again, always getting the assist. He's on 8. Welbeck and Forster-Caskey on 7 and 6 respectively, and also Joe Aribo down there on 4. So assist-wise, it's clear who the players that are providing the goals are for us, but we're looking very good up the top. Maybe it's just the defence that we need to strengthen a little bit. We also did have a problem with Patrick Bauer, who thinks that the club is underachieving at the moment and he wants to move away. I don't know where he's going to go that's better than Charlton, but he might be one of the players that moves, so we've got to prepare for that. And as you can see here, Danny Welbeck on 10 goals, also 7 assists. Tutu with 9 goals. Grant Ward and Jake Forster-Caskey are on 6. Patrick Roberts, Kamada, and then a few distributed between Forestieri, Furlong, Fosu, Pau and Aribo. In terms of assists, again, it's Kamada, Welbeck, Forster-Caskey and Aribo leading the way. Conser getting his fair share as well, 2 there, and also Patrick Roberts, Ward, Tutu and Nick Powell chipping in with some assists as well. And then appearance wise, I'm just going to do that so you can see all the players that have been part of our campaign this season and see how they've all been faring and how they've been doing. And the squad report is going to show us some of the players that have been improving, some of the players that have been growing their overall rating, and some of the players that may have gone down in their old age as well. So a lot of nice growth here. Jay Da Silva going up, Aribo, Forster-Caskey, Kamada, all the players really that we've signed and that we're attempting to grow here are going up by a fair amount. Lewis Page even, sort of our backup left back. Nick Powell, Casey O'Carroll, the youngster that we signed, has gone on loan. Patrick Gallagher, who's gone up by 5, and he at the age of 18 is going to be a very good talent for us in years to come. And yeah, most of the players really are growing by a nice little amount. They're raising their transfer values, you know, they're scoring, they're providing assists, they're performing well in general. And unfortunately, Ricky Holmes has gone down to a 65, which is actually the rating that he started out on this FIFA. But yeah, let's go and have a look at our squad now. And every time I show you this, you surely agree that this is looking more and more like a Premier League sort of starting 11. I don't know how we're only 6th in the table. Every time you look at it, we've got Roberts at 77, Welbeck at 83, 2-2 at 76, Forster-Caskey, who's captain in the side at the moment at 73, Kamada nearly at 80 at 79 there, 77 Aribo, Chris Solly only because Furlong was injured, but let's swap him in and put him there. And then our centre-backs, Bauer, who may or may not leave at 74, Conser at 77. By the way, most of these players are these high ratings at young ages, so they've still got a lot more to improve, a lot more room to improve. De Silva at 72 and our keeper Strakosha at 78. So that's more or less our first 11, our starting 11 that we aim to play for most of the games. We obviously have to rotate. And then this is our bench here. A lot of players over the 70 mark on the bench now. We need to maybe concentrate a little bit more on giving Dylan Phillips a bit of growth. But yeah, a lot of these reserve players also are proving to be useful and are getting some game time, as well as not Darren Ambrose, he once played for Charlton though, didn't he? But Thierry Ambrose, I should say, down here, the speedster at 74, he's grown by 2 as well. Ben Reeves, some of these players getting involved in some of the cup games and, you know, some of the other games, and we're looking a very well-rounded side, and I think we will achieve playoff qualification this season. So just to see sort of how we're faring in the long run, let's sim this game against Arsenal in the FA Cup and see how we do. We are probably expecting a loss here, considering the stature of Arsenal and the players that they have. But let's see if we can perhaps get a result. It's unfortunate that we keep getting drawn against these kind of teams in the cup. But I mean, we're holding out 0-0 Awasana. I don't know who that actually is. Let's put them one up. They've also got Solly March there they've signed. And Diakabi. They've made some interesting signings on this career mode, Arsenal. They are 1-0 up. Maybe, can we just get a goal? Oh no, Tutu's been injured. Is that what it? Oh, Carl Jenkinson, ex of Charlton, actually puts them 2-0 up, and it looks like this potentially might be a 2-0 loss as long as we hold out, which isn't, you know, terrible. I mean, we weren't expecting to win that anyway. I would have liked to have scored at least, but 2-0 against Arsenal, and, you know, with the plans that we're going to make in the coming season, we could be looking at a pretty decent team by the time we hopefully get promoted to the Premier League. And on the last day of the season, we have managed to do it again. We finished 3rd, only 5 points behind Aston Villa. We were quite a way off them halfway through the season, but we have managed to finish the season 5 points only off of automatic promotion. We just missed out. It's kind of annoying, but I guess that means that we are playing in the playoffs again against QPR first and then against either Brighton or Ipswich. Can we perform better in this playoff regime than we did against Bournemouth last season? I very, very much hope so. Let's see how we do in the simmed match against QPR, but that's actually right after we look at how the players have done this season. So in the second half of the Championship season, Welbeck didn't get too many more goals and he dropped down to 10th, only scoring 12, which is still a decent return for a striker, you know, and not renowned for being prolific, Welbeck, but he scored 12 goals, pretty decent return, and Tutu scored 13, which is a very, very nice return for him as well. No one else sneaking on there, but then if we go to assist, it was Kamada who topped the entire charts with 12 assists. A very, very good signing he was. Absolutely, probably my favourite player so far of this career mode that we've signed, because he's kind of an unknown, but he's been so good. And then Welbeck with 10, so very, very good for him as well. And then down there we do have Forster-Caskey, who got 6 assists, and also Joe Aribo still sneaking on at the bottom there with 6 as well. So very, very good for our attacking line this season. And then if we look at the team stats, you can see Kamada, not only did he get 12 assists, but he also scored 9 goals. So did Patrick Roberts. Forster-Caskey got 7, Ward with 6, Forestieri with 5, 4 for Furlong from right back, and then a couple of goals, well, 1 goal for a couple of these players down here as well. Ahern Grant scored his first goal, I think, for us in the league at all that we've done so far. He's growing very nicely, so he could be used next season potentially if he grows enough, but eventually we will be looking to use him as a starter. So if we sort this by appearance, actually let's sort this by assists first. We have seen that Aribo and Forster-Caskey had 6. Conser and Patrick Roberts are the only ones who made any sort of relative contribution with assists as well, and then obviously Tutu, Ward and Powell chipping in as well, but the assists mainly were from Welbeck and from Kamada. And then if we just organise by appearances now, we can see how every single player did, how often they played for us, and how well they contributed towards our success that we saw this season, finishing 3rd again. And going into the playoffs against QPR, this is going to be our starting 11 more or less. I think we might only swap Forestieri out out for perhaps Grant Ward, or it depends if someone comes back from injury. Yeah, Patrick Roberts is on his way back from injury at 78 rated, so I think I might include him at some point. But for now, we've got 2-2 on the right, we've got Forestieri on the left, we've got Welbeck at 83 still up front, Kamada just behind him, Forster, Kaski and Aribo. Aribo's now grown to a 78, as well as Ezri Konsa, but they're in the middle there, and then Furlong at right back, Bauer and Konsa in the middle, and De Silva on the left at 73 rated. And Strakosha, of course, in goal. And our bench is going to look something like this. Gallagher has grown now to a 71, only the age of, I think, 18 still. Yeah, he's still 18, so he, like I keep saying, is going to be a great player. Grant Ward on the bench, Nick Powell as well. And Ahern Grant at 72 might come on and, you know, try to influence the game if we need it. And down here, I think, like I said, Patrick Roberts will get included. Ricky Holmes is back from injury as well. He might get a game. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. And then Ambrose down here as well, we could also potentially use. And any of these players really could fit in. Naby Sarr's a 71 rated now. But let's go into our first leg away at QPR. Much like Reading last year, we did actually do the double over QPR this season. So let's sim this match and see how this team fares. Just, we won't quite include Patrick Roberts yet. We might include him for the final, but let's not risk him getting any sort of developments to his injury as we kick off in this first leg of the semi-final. Oh, they've gone 1-0 up, but Forestieri puts us straight back at 1-1. And can we get another goal to put ourselves in the lead, give ourselves the advantage? I mean, away, in the away fixture, you wouldn't mind it staying 1-1. And we've actually gone 2-1 up. Forestieri scores another goal. And he's been pretty good this season as a sort of bit part player. But this is a very, very good, much like the Reading semi-final last year. And it's actually 3-1. Forster Kaski adds another goal for us. And then they do pull one back just at the last minute. 3-2. We do have a winning advantage going into our home fixture. So let's see how we can build on that. So we're going to go unchanged into this second leg here. So these are the boys that have been doing it for me all season. These are the boys that have done it in the first leg, so we're not going to change anything, and I hope that we can go into this home fixture against QPR in the semi-finals. And immediately Forestieri, what a player he's been in this playoff campaign, I suppose, and the championship campaign in general. And goals all over the shop. Luongo gets one for them, Welbeck scores for us, so we are looking like if we can keep it this way, even if we concede another goal, we'll be fine. Forestieri gets another one, which means surely we are qualifying for the final of the championship playoffs. And 2-2 adds another one. It's laughable now. We must have won about, what is it, 7-2, 7-3 on aggregate. So that is a very comfortable victory for us. Forestieri, Welbeck and 2-2 with the goals. Forestieri with 2. So, I mean, he might have earned himself just doing that with a starting place in the final. But let's go into the final now. You know what time it is. First of all, I didn't see the thing. Oh, we're playing Brighton. Oh dear, this could be a very difficult game. Brighton this time, another seaside club that are trying to prevent us from getting promotion to the Premier League. The heartbreak of playing Bournemouth and losing on penalties is strength enough for me to say that we will win this game. We have to win this championship final, this championship playoff final, and get promotion to where Charlton belong in the Premier League. And we have arrived at match day as Charlton versus Brighton in the championship playoff final, round 2 for us. If you have a look at our squad, I mean, every time I look at this, it just looks more and more like a Premier League squad, and probably a mid-table Premier League squad if you ask me. In terms of this game, we are going to get Johnny Jackson on the bench instead of Gallagher. I think Ricky Holmes will have to leave him out just because, okay, what's his pace saying? 71. I think we're going to have to leave him out just for today. You know, no player is bigger than the club, although we would love to see him play. But just because I think that we've got more options with Ward and also Roberts, who needs to come on instead of probably Nick Powell. I think we just need the options there off the bench if we are, you know, struggling. We need to bring someone good on like Roberts. We are going to give Forestieri the chance, considering how well he played in the sort of semi-final. He scored 4 goals, so this is going to be our starting lineup, and it's open to change, open to substitutions as the game goes on, but it's looking very, very strong indeed. So it was an ex-Charlton player who sent us down last time. It was Harry Arter who converted the final penalty. No kick clash here. And this team, this Brighton team, do have Dale Stephens, which is another ex-Charlton player. So let's hope that the curse doesn't repeat itself. You know, in real life, ex-Charlton players do tend to perform well when they do play Charlton, but we have to, it's our job to stop Dale Stephens, to stop Brighton, and to make sure that we perform well and score goals, because we didn't even score a goal last time, so that we can win this playoff final here. Nice penalty, but a great save. We might not get the promotion here, boys. It's Leonardo Ulloa now. We're going to go to the left. Is he going to score it? Oh, he's hit the post. This is dreadful. His old team. Oh, and he's done it. Bournemouth win. That is absolutely gutting. No, this is terrible. Oh no, guys, I'm so sorry. I thought that we had enough. It was Johnny Jackson who let us down in the last minute there.
And Charlton are promoted! It's bye-bye Division 1 from Charlton Athletic and hello Premiership.
So here we go as Brighton are about to kick off this Championship playoff final. I'm feeling kind of nervous, but I need to sort of maintain my composure and stay calm because otherwise it's going to reflect in my sort of finishing. I'm going to panic and I don't need to as Kamada nicks the ball really early on here. Is he going to find Danny Welbeck? He does! It's a first shot! Oh, it's a good tackle. Was that a penalty? It's a penalty in the first minute! Oh, but penalties, you know I'm not very good at them. Who's going to take it? Oh, what a lifeline we've been given here. Let's have a look at that. It was a foul. I mean, he got the ball, but he went right through Danny Welbeck's knee. Dangerous play there. Is it going to be Danny Welbeck? Is he the best penalty taker we've got? He's 73 on penalties. Forestieri also is good. I think we're going to stick with Welbeck. Oh god, penalties are so difficult against the computer because the computer just knows and it can choose whether to save it or not, but we do shoot and it's a goal! 1-0 and it takes 1 minute in this new playoff final for us to score a goal. Last time we didn't score a goal the entire game, in extra time we didn't score a single goal. It's taken 1 minute for Danny Welbeck to convert this penalty here and what a start this is for us. We've got another chance here as Forestieri. He takes the touch, gets past the defender. I'm not sure how he is for pace. Cuts inside with his 4-star skill moves. Finds Danny Welbeck. No, he doesn't. He finds 2-2 though. Who's going to cross it in? Is he? And it's Danny Welbeck. Oh, he's connected with it, but it just sailed wide. Poor header really from Danny Welbeck, and that could have put us 2-0 up within 10 minutes there. Unlucky from Danny Welbeck, but could have made better contact with it. 2-2, who's quite a physical presence, wins it back. The Danish. Oh my god, he goes over. Is it Joe Aribo? Is he going to get on the end of this? He's still got the ball. Plays it to Forestieri. Is he going to score another one? Oh, the finesse gets saved by the keeper. Forestieri is really nice to play with as he lays it inside to Forster-Caskey, rolls it. Jay Da Silva inside now. One more to Joe Aribo. Great dribbling. He plays through Danny Welbeck. Can he get on the end of it? Not quite. Westwood gathers it. Right, we all know what happened to England when we got an early penalty and went 1-0 up against Iceland, so I have to maintain my composure. I'm feeling very, very confident now. I'm feeling like I'm going to score again, but as soon as they score, if it happens, it's all back to square one and all this has been undone. So we need to get that second goal really and make sure also that they don't score as they give the ball away. As Kamada, can he find a good ball here? Out to the wing. Oh, it's trickled through to Danny Welbeck who's got strength and pace. Finds Forestieri, knocked inside. Oh, unlucky, Duffy fires away. Here comes Scalak down the wing. Can we keep our composure here? We'll Conte get it away. He does. He finds Kamada directly who's going to run. And Danny Welbeck, if he can get one over here, if he's got the pace to beat Hunt. Not quite, although he does win it back. Got the ball up front, Welbeck. Can he play it back? He does find Forestieri. Inside to Kamada. One more. Oh, it's a goal! Oh, I thought it was a goal from 2-2's coming running. I don't know how he managed to get on the end of that. Was it a save? I'm not entirely sure, but that is half time anyway, so it won't matter. We are 1-0 up. Brighton have been poor, but we really need to extend and double this lead that we've got going for us before it's too late and they nick one back. See, they haven't even had a shot, but they have had more possession. We've had 5 shots and 2 on target. It's really hard to keep your shots on target on career mode, I find. But I'm not going to make any substitutions yet because we're playing very well. As soon as someone gets really unfit or whatever, I'll think about substitutions, but I'm happy with how we're performing so far. We do have a throw. Furlong finds Joe Aribo, the 79 rated midfielder at this point, Forster-Caskey. He's managed to hold off his man. Great strength from Forster-Caskey as he comes forward. Skips past another man. Forster-Caskey, is he going to go all the way? I think he is, although I think that might be offside. Oh, it was beautiful stuff from Forster-Caskey. It was offside in the end, but Welbeck was... If he had stayed onside, that could have been a very good chance. Oh no, that's a nice little knock. And Kanaka might have caught Da Silva out here, although Da Silva's got back with some good pace. And he's done very well to win the ball, and he's going to set us on a break here. Can he find anyone? We've got players chasing him. Someone's making a run through the middle there. He's going to keep the ball though, Jay Da Silva. He still has, and he's going to find Forestieri with all kinds of space here. Can he find the shot? Forestieri, oh, it's a good save from Westwood. Is he going to go out for a corner? It's out for a bong, throws it out for a throw. Throws it out for a throw? Kicks it out for a throw. All sorts of pressure applying here. 2-2. Back to Joe Aribo. One more to force to Kasky, and we're in the box. Oh, poor connection from Jada Silva. Throw from Furlong comes in. It's 2-2 who puts it in for Welbeck. Oh, it was like an owl movement, a rotatory neck header. I don't know how to describe that, what just happened there. It came a sort of awkward angle, and Welbeck used the movement of his body to just sort of guide that towards the goal, and it was a great save in the end as Tutu puts the corner in here for us. Near post, Welbeck just goes over his head. It comes out though to Furlong, who can't find a shot, but he is going to keep the ball. Is that a free kick? No. Oh yeah, it is. And we do have a free kick. It's Danny Welbeck over it, but I don't really want him over it. Instead, I think I want Forster Kasky on his left foot to just bend this into that corner, and it just goes straight into the wall. Although Kamada keeps the ball for us. Is he going to find a little ball in? No, he's not. Oh, it's punched away. Kamada again. Is this a goal? Oh, it's hit the bar. It was an acrobatic effort from I'm not even sure who at the edge of the box there, but Forster Kasky did well. And the shot was stung. Well, it didn't sting, but it hit the bar at a very, very quick pace. Oh, well won. It's Forster Kasky in the middle, who's had a fantastic game. Plays Kamada in. Are there any runs for Kamada? Kamada skipped past his man anyway, and it could be Welbeck through the middle here. It's Aribo, in fact, on his right foot. Oh, it's not a bad effort. Westwood manages to tip it around the post again. Forestieri with the ball in. It's Welbeck at the near post. I think that's come off the keeper for another corner, and we want Forestieri to take another one like that because that was really nice. Let's go to Forestieri. Let's play it over there this time. And it's going to be Kamada there. He's not going to win the header. Welbeck might though. Oh, and I think it's another corner actually. And it's gone out of play in the 76th minute, which I think is the cue for me to bring on. I think I'm going to take off Tutu, who's been very good by the way, for Patrick Roberts, and Ahern Grant for Welbeck or Kamada. I'm not sure. I think we'll take off Kamada, who's been very good, has probably done all he can, and he's kind of looking unfit now. So Ahern Grant is just in that centre forward sort of CAM position now as Joe Aribo takes his throw. And it's all the way to Ahern Grant with his first touch. Can he find Patrick Roberts on the wing? The other substitution, yes he does. Back into Ahern Grant. Can he skip? Oh, he hasn't been able to control it. What happened there? That's going to be Consters. Oh, he's missed the header, Conster, but I think it's offside anyway. It is offside, and we're in 90 minutes now, so if we can just keep the ball for a bit, we have got promotion to the from the Championship to the Premier League, and we have restored Charlton's rightful place in the Football League, in the football tiers once again. Although Joe Aribo has it as Forster Kasky, man of the match for me, though they're going to have a counter here. Dale Stevens finds Lewis Dunk on the right. I don't know what he's doing up there. Oh, and it's just not enough, and Furlong finds it. Oh, I'm struggling for words. And there's full time. We have got promoted from the Championship to the Premier League through the playoffs. We've beaten Brighton, dropping to their knees the players. We've finally restored the rightful way for Charlton and the rightful way of the English tiers of football. And Charlton are going to be returning to the Premier League finally after 3 seasons of this ultimate rebuild. We have done it, and we are going to be spending, I think it's the 2019-20 season now, in the Premier League as the players Forestieri, De Silva, Patrick Roberts, Patrick Bauer, Ezri Konsa, Joe Aribo and the likes do a celebratory little hokey-cokey, mate. It's unbelievable scenes, and let's see us lift the trophy now. So we are at Wembley. This playoff cutout is there in the middle of the pitch, and this trophy is going to be lifted by the captain, who had a fantastic game, Jake Forster Kasky. And here we go. It's legendary. It's resemblant. I don't know if that's a word, but it reminds me of when Sasha Ilic slid on the pitch after he saved that penalty, and all the players bundled onto him. Fantastic scenes. Danny Welbeck staying with us for another Championship season, scoring the only goal of the game, the penalty that was so important in the very first minute of the game, has secured this win for us. Unbelievable scenes, and we have got a very, very strong squad, let me tell you, for this second season and for the Premier League season we're about to play. And look at that, Charlton Athletic Championship playoff champions. What a performance that was. We should have scored so many more goals, but I find it very difficult to convert chances on career mode, as I've said about 3 times now. But who cares? We can advance, and we can make sure, we'll just double check. Look, we had 16 shots and 6 on target to their 1 and none on target. That is an absolutely fantastic attacking performance from us. I think we're going to have to strengthen our defence in this next coming transfer window, but let's advance. And so it will be the top 3 there, Watford, Aston Villa and of course Charlton, going up to the Premier League to spend at least 1 season. And I think with our team we're going to be able to really become a mid-table, at least Premiership side there. And if we go down here, it was Wigan, Bolton and Southend. I believe the three that potentially got promoted from League One last season, although I don't think Wigan were. It might have been Rotherham who just missed out there. But they are going down to League One, and I'm not sure who got relegated from the Premiership, but we can quickly check that. And in the Premier League, it was West Brom who had a pretty appalling season, as well as Hull and Burnley who are going down. Bournemouth will be staying in the Premier League, so we can get our revenge. I think I'm going to have to play that match to get revenge on them. And it was Chelsea who won the league, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal getting top 4, and Manchester City and Spurs missing out just. And Crystal Palace seem to be very good on this career mode so far. But yeah, we will be spending a season with these big boys, the elites. So let's fast forward to that. And before we fast forward to that, let's see how everyone performed in the domestic competitions. And it was Arsenal that won the FA Cup this year with a North London final actually there. Look, Arsenal versus Spurs, Liverpool and Bournemouth in the semi-finals there. We didn't again get anywhere near the sort of round of 16 even. Because obviously Arsenal, who I think they actually knocked us out, didn't they? Yeah, it was Arsenal that knocked us out. But hopefully, I really want to perform better in the domestic cups. And in the EFL Cup, it was Stoke City. Again, Charlton not getting anywhere on that tournament tree there. But they defeated Liverpool in the final. So it was Stoke and Arsenal who won their respective cups this season. So now here we are at the beginning of this new Premier League campaign. And the goal really, I suppose it's to avoid relegation. But I think really it's to be building a team here that can compete regularly and not be in any danger of relegation really in the Premier League. Let's have a look at the table. So we do have Arsenal, Villa, Bournemouth, Charlton in their rightful position in the Premier League. Chelsea, Palace, Everton, Leicester, Liverpool, City, United, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, Southampton, Spurs, Stoke, Sunderland, Swansea, Watford and West Ham all in this Premier League campaign. So definitely a lot of teams that I expect to be beating there, and also some teams that I expect to be beating us. So I'm hoping that a sort of mid-table finish will be good. But really what I want to do, first and foremost, is to stay in the Premier League, and then secondly, I want to have a cup run this season. So I'm going to try extra hard to build a team that's capable of competing in the league and competing in the domestic cups as well. And so with these two pre-agreed contract arrivals of Nathan Baker and Andy Carroll, we are already looking like a very strong Premiership outfit. I do need to probably strengthen our centre-back and full-back positions, because Bauer, I think I want him to fall maybe to be a sort of backup player. He certainly won't be captain this season. I'm going to change that. And then Furlong and De Silva, I'm going to train De Silva up as much as I can, but I need to strengthen the full-back positions as well, and maybe another winger, but we only have a sort of £7 or £8 million budget to work on, so it depends what we can do and how far that will go. And the first sale of this season is going to be Jason Pearce, who we're selling to Birmingham for $675k. He's kind of aging at the age of 31. He was 70 rated the whole way through this entire Ultimate Rebuild, I do believe. But I think it's about time that he was probably going to start dropping rating points, so I thought it was about time to cash in on Jason Pearce. He's been a great servant to the club, so thank you, Jason Pearce, for everything you've done on that left side of the two in the middle of the centre defensive positions. But yeah, it's time to cash in on you, and we are looking to strengthen in that region anyway. And our first signing to sort of directly replace Jason Pearce is a sort of more young prospect, a more young talent from Bayern Munich. We were going to go for either Dale Fry here or Holger Badstuber, so we are going to go for Fry for £4.2 million, which is going to still leave us with about £8 to £9 million in the transfer budget to work on some other deals. So let's accept Dale Fry. I don't actually know what rating he is, but I'm assuming it's around like 73 to 75. And let's reject the Badstuber one, because he wanted quite a lot of money in terms of wages anyway, so I want to get rid of that. And let's have a look and see what Dale Fry's rating is. I'm expecting it to be between 70 and 75. It is in fact 74 for a 22-year-old. That's very, very good. He's a right-sided defender. He's 6'3" and he's actually English. And I think on deadline day, the only other deal that we're going to be able to get done is this loan deal for Timothy Fosu-Mensah, I believe the Dutchman, the right back. We're going to accept the offer again. We don't know what rating he is, but we could do with some strengthening to Furlong and Chris Solly's position throughout the season for a bit of longevity in case there's any injuries and that kind of stuff. Let's just check what rating he is. I'm not sure. Oh, he's actually a 78, so he's going to go straight into our starting lineup there. Furlong can drop to the bench, and Solly can drop to the reserves and just play a few, perhaps cup matches and stuff for a centre-back, namely Sarr. So we'll do that. Fosu-Mensah at 78 is a very strong player to get on loan, I believe. So as we've just ticked down the final minutes of another transfer deadline day, let's just quickly take a look at the squad that we're going into the season with. So up front, we do have Welbeck at 83, Patrick Roberts at 79 now, still at the young age of, I think, 22 in fact on this game. Tutu on the left at 76 rated, Lewis Baker in the middle, Kamada at 80, Aribo, the captain, now at 79, still very young. Fosu Mensah on loan, who's gone up to a 79 already since we signed him. Patrick Bauer and Konsa in the middle, with De Silva on the left and Strakosha in goal. Phillips has gone up to a 68. He's still quite young on this, 24 years old, so he can still improve. Furlong and Sarr on the bench, Forster Kaski, Ward, Forestieri and Andy Carroll. And then down here we have players such as Lewis Page, Chris Solly, Harry Lennon, Dyke Steele, Gallagher, Fosu, who's now 69, Charles Cook, Powell, Jackson, Holmes, Reeves, Ahern Grant, Dale Fry, who are actually going to put up with the defenders, and I am feeling confident that we can get a decent sort of mid-table finish in our first season in charge in the Premier League. And also, like I said earlier, I really do want a cup run. And yet again, we tick down another transfer deadline day. This time we are in January of 2020, and I'm about to show you where we are in the league. We're doing decently this season. As you can see, also we are in the FA Cup. We have been knocked out the EFL Cup, but I've been very careful to play my sort of first 11 and my strongest teams in the cup matches. So let's have a look at where we are in terms of the league. So we're sitting in sort of like the lower kind of area of mid-table. We've got Chelsea there at 8th actually, Manchester City and Newcastle, Leicester, Spurs, Swansea right above us, Stoke and Watford, Southampton below us. And propping up the table, we've got Villa, Middlesbrough and Bournemouth, and then at the top we do have Arsenal, who are looking to win the title, 8 points clear at the moment. Liverpool, Manchester United and West Ham all fill in the vacant Champions League position, so we're doing okay. I don't think there's too much danger of relegation, but saying that, we are only 5 points off of 19th and 18th, that's Bournemouth and Middlesbrough's positions. So if we can hit a decent bit of form, or you know, if we can just be as consistent as we've been so far, we look like we'll probably finish around about mid-table, maybe towards the back end of mid-table, but that's fine. We're looking for a cup run, and in the first season we're just looking for Premier League survival, so that's that. There's been a bit of a goal drought for Danny Welbeck and a few of our other players, so Bergis of Watford, I think I've said that right, and Gabriel Jesus are leading the way in terms of goals. Ozil, Arnautovic, Lanzini and Griezmann also there, Barkley as well, and no Charlton players creeping on there at all. If we go to the assists, we still have no one at the top end of that, but down here we do have Joe Aribo, who manages to sneak on at 20th place with 3 assists. So it's not quite like the Championship where we're always, you know, we've always got 2 or 3 or even 4 players sometimes on these leaderboards. Also, did you see that Strakosha has 6 clean sheets, which is joint second with Mignolet, Adrian, Butland. Yeah, and that's it. So we're doing pretty well in terms of that, but we probably need to score a few more goals. That's our problem. I thought our defence was going to be our problem, but it's actually been Welbeck who hasn't been able to convert as much as I would have hoped. And if you take a look at our squad, we're looking pretty similar to what we were earlier. A couple of players have gone up by 1 or 2. Roberts is now on 80, Aribo on 80, Kamada on 81, Baker on 82, Konsa an 80, De Silva 76, Bauer 76 as well, and Fosu Mensah is an 80. So we're looking like a pretty mid-table sort of Premier League team. We do have an injury, that's why Dylan Phillips is in goal too. Strakosha down here, he's actually okay now, so let's put him back. So we're doing well as a team in general. All we need really is Premier League survival, and we're looking good, and a cup run as well, of course, which we will try and accomplish. You can see our goals are pretty evenly shared. Welbeck's only managed to score 3 in 20 appearances. 2-2 scored 3 as well. Aribo scored 3 and a couple of goals from, you know, distributed between Roberts, Ward, Fosu, Forestieri and Kamada. So we are definitely not as prolific as we were in the Championship, as I was saying earlier. Lewis Baker, our top scorer at the moment. And then if we move on to assists, it's obviously Aribo at the top there, 2-2 with 2, and no one else providing any assists at all. So we're pretty much capitalising on the mistakes of opponents, apart from 5 goals that we've scored. We've probably got to improve a little bit in that regard, but I'm pretty happy in general with our league position and whatnot. But this is how everyone's done and how everyone's contributed. A few appearances for some of the sort of lower ranked players in the side, and as a team we're looking okay for survival. And the squad report is always good to look at to see how much some of our players have grown. I really wish that Fosu Mensah was our player, but Bauer, Konsa, De Silva, Aribo, Baker, Kamada, Roberts, all of these players have grown. And some of the other players as well that we haven't used so much have just naturally grown. A lot of players staying the same as well. Some of the sort of more middle-aged, you know, sort of 28 and onwards sort of players. And then I think Johnny Jackson down here somewhere has gone down to a 60, so he's almost in the 50s now. He still hasn't told me he's going to retire, but Ricky Holmes is going to be retiring at the end of this particular season. So let's see if we can mount this cup run. So we do have Leicester at home in the FA Cup. We are drawn at home, which is always an advantage. We're playing pretty much our strongest 11. I think that is exactly our strongest 11, in fact. and I hope that we can maybe win this by 1 or 2 goals. I think Leicester are a pretty solid side. I can't remember where they are in the league, but they're a pretty solid side. We're 0-0 at halfway. Danny Welbeck does put us 1-0 up. He's kind of, coming away from his goal drought period, which is good to see. De Silva puts us 2-0 up. Very, very good stuff. Surely that puts us through, although Kubo for them pulls one back to bring the score to 2-1, but I think we'll be able to just hang on here, will we? Yes, we do. 90th minute, and the whistle is blown, and we have won 2-1. So we are into the 5th round, which is perhaps the round of 16. I'm not quite sure of the cup. I hope we get a relatively kind draw to us, but we'll be able to find out when the draw is done. And this is absolutely terrible. So Thomas Strakosha, who is pretty much our best keeper in the club by a country mile. I think he's 80 rated, and our next best keeper is Dylan Phillips, who's a 68. He's done his cruciate ligament, so he's going to be out for 4 months, which means Dylan Phillips is going to have to step up to the plate for the next 4 months, pretty much until the end of the season, which could be a real damaging thing for our sort of not promotion, but our Premier League status and being able to keep our Premier League status. So let's hope that Phillips can, be trained up a little bit, and we'll be able to fill in. Let's put him in. I think he's 68 rated. Yeah, he's 68 rated down here. He's only and our sub keeper is 64. So maybe I should have planned for this a little bit better. I've trained him a little bit, but not enough to be really a first team starter in the Premier League. But I mean, I think he'll be able to step in and do a decent job. At least we have keepers. Before, when we started this, we only had one keeper. That was Dylan Phillips, and he was 57 rated. So it's not the end of the world, but a bit of a damaging thing for us. So we have made it to the 5th round of the FA Cup. It's February the 22nd, 2020, and we are playing the team that we defeated in the semi-final of the Championship playoffs last season. We obviously have Phillips in goal at the moment. They obviously have Jordan Cousins, ex-Charlton. I hope he doesn't come back to haunt us. But it's pretty much our strongest 11. We've got Welbeck, 2-2, and Roberts, the formidable front three for us. And hopefully we should be able to have the, the league advantage over this QPR team. Although we're approaching half-time, no goals scored yet. Concer's picked up a yellow card. That's the only thing of note. Oh, there we go. Ward comes on and makes an immediate impact for Roberts to put us 1-0 up, so that's very good to see. I hope they don't pull one back. Is it going to be a 1-0 victory for us? I hope so. And yeah, there we go, 90 minutes, only 1-0, but a very good result in terms of getting through to the next round in the FA Cup. So that result means that we have got a fixture at home against Liverpool, probably the most difficult game that we've come up against in any cup so far. We are at home, it's a 12:45 kickoff, and I don't know, I think that this might be where our sort of FA Cup journey ends. I really do want to win it though. I am going to sim it just because we have the home advantage. Mane puts them 1-0 up, sorry. Conce is injured in the 12th minute. I hope that's not too serious. If we can just get one goal and bring this at a draw and get it to extra time, maybe something can happen. Baker does score for us in the 43rd minute. If someone else can just add another goal, Fry comes on for Conce, who must be struggling with an injury. Can someone else just add a little goal? Emre Can comes on for Partey. I don't know who that is. Must be a youngster. We're going all the way to 90 minutes, it looks like. Oh, it's extra time now. Oh, Welbeck's actually put us 2-1 up. Oh my God, can we hold it? Can we hold on to this? 100... Come on, 120. Get there. Yes, we have defeated Liverpool in the quarter-final. I am absolutely in disbelief about that. 2-1 at home against Liverpool in the FA Cup. We are in the semi-final now. I wonder who we've got in the semi-final. Let's check. Okay, so here we are at the semi-final stage now of the Emirates FA Cup. We are playing Man City. It's drawn us away even though it's at a neutral stadium, obviously Wembley Stadium. Drawn us on the away side, and I don't fancy my chances in the sim. So we are going to play this semi-final. Hopefully get a result over Manchester City and then see who we play in the final of the FA Cup. Phillips is in goal, unfortunately. Our keeper's still injured down here, but I mean, in terms of me playing the game, as long as I can keep them away from the goal and not shooting against Dylan Phillips, I mean, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on him. He's 69 rated for a young keeper. That's not too bad, but I think we're gonna play. Should we put Patrick Bauer in there? No, let's try Fry. And that's going to be our team, I think, although I kind of want a Hern Grant on the bench, so I'm going to bring him on instead of Forestieri, and yeah, that's going to be our team. And let's go and see if we can beat Manchester City at Wembley. Okay, so we're at Wembley Stadium, Manchester City versus Charlton Athletic. I kind of prefer these graphics to the Premier League graphics at times, although it's a little bit pixelated, those badges. But anyway, that is the least of our worries right now. We're in the semi-final against Man City. We're going to skip this intro and save all this stuff for the final. We know that Gundogan, De Bruyne, Silva are amazing players, but I feel confident that we might be able to get a result over Manchester City here. So let's go. Sané, I think he's gone up to like an 87 or an 88. Gets dispossessed by Jaribo though, and he's going to initiate a counter here. Aribo running straight. His agility is 99 on this game. Is he going to find the through ball? I think he is. It's 2-2 on the left wing. Is he going to shoot? He is, but it's a rubbish shot. It curved, but not. It didn't curve in the right way, and it's wide. But it wasn't a bad counter attack from us. If we can just get a sort of better connection or a better finish, we might be able to use that to our advantage. It's Escalante, who finds Sané, who's skipping past all my defenders here. Oh, it's Gabriel Jesus with the good shot. Phillips collects though. Gabriel Jesus can't find the ball. Silva dispossesses. He sets us away on a counter attack if 2-2 can find a good pass here. We've got to play a bit calmer because they're pretty savvy to the counter attack. 2-2 is going to find the ball out to Jay Da Silva. Pokes it inside to Danny Welbeck, who's going to find a through ball to Kamada. Shoot Kamada! Oh, I thought that was a goal. Oh, Da Silva's been done by this. Who's this guy? Giuliano or something? Giuliano. Plays it inside. It's well won. Fry's going to find a nice ball out to Kamada, to Welbeck. Welbeck's made a nice run here. Can someone... Who's that on the right? Is he fast enough? No, he's not. He's going to... Oh, Kamada finds Welbeck. He's in the box. It's a great... No, he's going to finish it. Yes, he is. Danny Welbeck, I didn't know how to commentate over that, but we've gone 1-0 up in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Absolute scenes. Danny Welbeck again scoring for us. That's the first goal I've ever scored in this Ultimate Career Mode playing the game in open play, because I sim the rest of the matches. That was a great little through ball from Kamada, and he just managed to avoid that slide tackle. Was it from Jesus? No, number 30. It might have been Otamendi. Was it Otamendi coming in there? I'm not sure who it was. But either way, it was a lovely little slotted finesse finish by Welbeck. And Guardiola is livid with that. 1-0 Charlton. Escalante must be some sort of youth talent. Escalante's coming into the box. I don't even know who this is. Oh, it's a great save from Dylan Phillips. Who would have thought that he's only 69 rated? It's Sané. Oh, Fry almost scored an own goal there, but it was fine. Phillips going to find... Oh, no. Gets it back for a second chance. He's going to take his time this time. And as we're at 67 minutes, I think that might be time for us to make a substitution. Baker's on a yellow card, but he's too important for us. I think we might take off 2-2, who's been pretty good. But I want to bring on Ward, and I also want to bring on a Hearn Grant. So, actually, do you know what? I'm just going to bring on a Hearn Grant and put him on the wing instead of Ward. And it's up here now with Lucas. I think this is Lucas Moura on the wing. Gabriel Jesus. Back to Lucas, back to Gabriel. Oh, it's great dribbling from Gabriel, and he's going to shoot. Oh, it's a great goal. He had his back to goal. I think that's the youngster. Is it Escalante or something like that? 41 is his number, and he's gone over to hug Pep Guardiola. Must be a youth talent. Dylan Phillips just let that past him, was just a bit slow reacted, and Manchester City in the 75th minute score a goal to put them at 1-1. It's Kamada, he's not going to win the header though. It's David Silva, who can find deadly passes from these kind of positions. Well played though. Fry takes an absolutely bizarre touch and he finds a Hearn Grant, but that is actually full time of regular time, and we are going to be heading in this semi-final to extra time. I think we've done pretty well to get it to extra time. We actually went 1-0 up, and at one point we were looking like we were going to just straight up win this tie, but it is going to take extra time if we are going to do it. I mean, we've put up a good fight, but I think we might have to make some technical substitutions now. Patrick Roberts, ex of Manchester City, is getting a little bit tired. We might have to bring on Ward, and then I'm looking at Andy Carroll in case things get desperate, but for now I think we'll leave it. And also Forster Kasky could come on to replace Aribo if he gets a bit tired, but he's really good dancing through midfield, Aribo. So for now we'll just make that one substitution and leave one for sort of half time of extra time. Gabriel Jesus is in the box here. Oh, it's well away from Fosu Mensah, and we're actually well on for a break here, and it's the substitute Ward who should be able to I think his touch let him down there. He should be able to outpace Stones, I was going to say, but Stones has actually made a lovely little tackle though. Ward's still got the ball. It's just unfortunate that he let all the players get back there, and we've still got the ball. It's going to be a finesse shot from Kamada. Oh, it's hit the bar. Oh, and I've accidentally pressed chip, and Ryan's got it. Oh, I pressed L1 to change player, and he did the chip. Jay Da Silva is going to find a through ball here. Well timed. Hearn Grant's through. Seamus Coleman's all kind of exhausted here. We're going to cut back inside. It's a Hearn Grant. Is he going to score this? Oh, come on, someone be there. Oh, very good tackle from, I think, Leroy Sané. He's got it back, though. He's going to find Lewis Baker, who's going to shoot. Oh, it's hit the bar. That's twice that I've hit the bar now. What a shot that was from Lewis Baker. I'm going to bring on Forster Kasky instead of Andy Carroll, actually, just because I think that he's probably slightly more technical, and I'm not convinced that I'm going to win headers against Otamendi and Stones, even with Andy Carroll on the pitch. So that's the final substitution. I don't know if that was the right thing to do in terms of penalties, but I want to win the game in this last 15 minutes of extra time. I don't really want penalties. Oh, that's cheeky. Escalante went for the cheeky shot there. It was a volley. And we're going to get... Oh, I've pressed the wrong thing. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no. Now they're going to get a goal, are they? Oh, that's a beautiful goal if it goes. Oh, that was such an accident. That is so unfortunate. I pressed the wrong button, lost possession, and now they just played right through the middle of me. What a goal that was. The computer just saw it. Look at this pass in here. It was all pretty much one-touch stuff. I don't know who it was in the end who put it away. It was actually Lucas Moura who scored the goal. And we've got 6 minutes now. We're going to have to go all-out attack. Grant Ward. Oh, just as Grant Ward turns on the ball, it is full time. It was a good effort from the boys, but we couldn't hold on to that 1-0 lead. And unfortunately, we have been knocked out in the semi-final. But just before we end the episode, let's have a look at where we are in the table now. Unfortunately, I think we've had a bit of an exhaustive FA Cup run, and I think our keeper getting injured was a big factor in us sort of dropping down the table a little bit. Now, we have one more game to play, unfortunately. It is against Arsenal, but it is at home. Watford are on quite a considerable goal difference less than us, so even if they win, I think we should survive, and we could potentially go up to 15th if we win. So I think we're kind of safe unless there's some sort of freak results that go on. But let's just see how we do in this last game against Arsenal with our team. Let's sim this match. It's at home against Arsenal. I hope that we can have just a good result to end off this episode. But even if we don't, I think we're going to survive. And next time when we pick this up, we are going to really go for sort of glory in the Premier League. But Gibbs has put them 1-0 up away from home at the Valley. Roberts does equalise for us though. Patrick Roberts, he's been very, very good in this career mode, in this ultimate rebuild. But hopefully even a draw, I wouldn't be too happy. Oh, there we go. I wouldn't be too unhappy with it, I was going to say. But we have actually gone 2-1 up. Although Wiltshire has pulled it back to 2-2. And hopefully, I just don't want them to score. Is it a draw? I think it is. It is a draw. In 90 minutes, it was 2-2. And that means that we are definitely safe. And I think we finished 17th, that means. Let's have a look at the table to see our final standings. Yeah, we finished on 39 points, a slight underachievement, but we had that exhaustive FA Cup campaign. We had the injury to our goalkeeper, so the fact that we retained our Premier League status is good enough for me, especially on World Class, what I'm playing this on. So next time, make sure you tune in, where we are going to try and qualify for Europe, even further improve this squad, and see how far we really can take this Charlton team that is cementing its place in the Premier League. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you comment down below what team you want me to do next after Newcastle and after the next Charlton episode. Also, there'll probably be a poll on the screen. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. And sweet!